Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. Now, they've got what they call dumbs, and they refer to the people who are above ground, but they've got deep underground military bunkers, and I've reported on that in shares that are no longer publicly accessible. But this one intrigued me, not because it's any better or worse, but it's different. This is above ground bunkers, luxury bunkers. But what got my attention is right here. The air filtration includes a CO2 removal system to provide breathable air when there is insufficient or no fresh air supply in the building. If necessary, the auxiliary supply connected to the CO2 removal will provide a sufficient level of oxygen. Now, I do believe there's bunches of rich white people, rich black people even maybe, but not so much so because they go by whatever the white people tell them to pay attention to, because otherwise they had a full understanding of man-made radiation, they would not be such faithful lapdogs as they are. I do believe if they do know about the radiation, they say nothing because they're a bunch of cowards and they think somehow they'll be able to, like get on the apocalypse ship with the devil himself and it's going to work out somehow. When, this thing is equipped so like it's a state of luxury, we're talking about a treacherous cabal that has no love, no respect for even one another. And somehow they're all going to get along. They're going to have servants. Even if this thing were to be capable of being pulled off, they need all of us regular folks completely tuned into the distractions. That's why they never mention Fukushima at all. They need us so tuned into the distractions that they're going to make them more and more unavoidable because they don't want anyone with them to feel that white guilt because they murdered the entire planet. They don't want folks to be thinking about that. And they don't want those servants to be thinking about that, along with them not wanting you to know that a housewife is telling you the absolute fact-based truth about what's happening to our planet. So just the rollout of crashes that I've been talking about. That's why these people know the oxygen levels are changing. That's going to change the dynamics of ignition and these engines that require fuel to ignite on a perpetual basis in order for them to propel themselves through the skies that are saturated with radiation, creating a Wigner effect that's destroying all their mechanisms. So here, frightening video shows the moment a helicopter starts spinning frantically in midair just seconds before crashing and killing 3 Mexican soldiers. This is from October 4th, just days ago. In this one, 3 people, including pilot and 2 siblings, are killed after a small plane they crashed into the roof of a Minnesota home as startling couple and their cat awoke to airplane wheels sitting at the end of our bed. I said you need to start looking up, okay? And, my condolences. I'm not looking to see people die. That's not what I'm trying to share, but I have warned you got to pay attention to what's going on up in the skies, even though there'd have been no way for that family to have avoided the impact of that plane. 3 killed in plane crash near Duluth Airport. Once again, all these stories they're all recent. October 2nd, 2022. Thick black smoke fills the sky of Crimea as aircraft catches fire and explodes on runway. No one died here, I don't believe, even though it just looks incredible. You could see the smoke for miles and miles around. Authorities: pilot dies in crash of small plane near Tucson, September 28. Pilot killed in gyrocopter crash in South Dakota. And woe to you, and woe to anybody, if you are part of a flying operation that neglects its crafts in any way, shape, or form. We are dealing with atomically incinerating forces that when you're in something that's up off the ground and gravity is just eating at you already, and then you got radiation interfering with these fine mechanisms, you're in danger. You need to be in a vessel that is highly maintained. So 7 Ugandan troops killed in copter crash in eastern Congo. More of these crashes happen in nations that may not understand at all anything about radiation, as even the more moneyed nations don't understand fully. But I noticed the crashes will happen in these, I don't even want to call them lower tiered because I don't go by Western standards of wealth and value, but at the same time, they just don't maintain this stuff the way that they should if they understood radiation. Anchorage woman killed in plane crash on lake near Schwentna. Pakistani serviceman killed in second deadly chopper crash in over a month. Second deadly. 1 person dead after small plane crashed in eastern Ontario. What's the date on this one? Let's find out. September 25th, 2022. All the dates are recent. Air tragedy. Pilot killed as glider he was flying crashes in a field in Sussex. September 24, 2022. Pilot of small aircraft dead after crashing near Mount Jefferson. September 23, 2022. 2 dead after crash near Nellis Air Force Base. And this is a different crash that happened in Uganda, where I do believe there was a diplomat of some sort that was on board the helicopter, and everybody got to walk away. But just like the Pakistani, 2 crashes and deadly crashes in Pakistan in 1 month. Here you had 2 crashes, one of them deadly, the other one not, thank goodness, in Uganda. And these near incidents where nobody gratefully is killed, murdered, I would say, because they know what's going on, obviously, at that Swiss bunker that's going to be resuscitating and making oxygen for its residents to live in, but never be able to go outside, walk around, go into the swimming pool. So this would qualify to me as genocide, white on everybody violence. And this is after also a scary crash, not near me, but it was in the state of New Jersey, where a plane went down in a house. There's been several of them that have happened like that over the past 3 weeks, where planes just came down. One house, the residents were killed, murdered. But here with this one, scary. United Airlines flight captured on camera emitting spark makes emergency landing. This was right near me. I think this was Newark Airport. And it just suddenly sparked and caught on fire, and the spark after a while went out. Scary as heck, okay? So these dudes know what the hell they're doing, and everything that I've been sharing is just the facts. I put my analysis in there because it's necessary. These dudes with white lives matter. They've always mattered. They hide, they broadcast, they blast all over the planet their superiority. But they then trash Black us on the constant. They treat us as a prisoner of war nation to use, to stoke hysteria in their own clueless masses. And so white lives have always never mattered to white people even. So stop it with the white lives matter. You don't even like your own because you don't say anything about the stuff that I put together. You just take all my channels down when I never profess violence to anyone, certainly not on the scale of where I take out, I don't know how many dead people in the past month from not knowing that they should not get in any air vehicle that is not inspected to the nines. So here they are planting seaweed in the Pacific Ocean. They got this narrative. We want to talk about climate change, global warming. No, they keep focusing on the Pacific. All this stuff popped off in the Pacific. They aren't planting seaweed anyplace else. They're planting it here in order to capture the radiation. And because it's there, and in the air where it's interfering with those airplanes, but it's killing the phytoplankton. That's where we get the majority of our oxygen on the planet from all the oceans. The radiation obliterates it. So these articles is a given you're going to be able to find this stuff. How the loss of phytoplankton could lead to our demise, right? Studies show phytoplankton declines. Where's it starting? In the northern hemisphere. Coming right from NASA. Study shows oceanic phytoplankton declines in the northern hemisphere. This was written in 2015. So there are ways that regular you and me can work together to defend ourselves, because that's what civilization does, and civilization ain't come from no daggone barbarians who would kill off the entire planet knowingly and hide it and remove the voice of the one person who's putting the puzzle pieces all together and giving concrete solutions. So this is what you do. You got buildings out there where they are just growing plants, first floor to floor, 350, however high they got these suckers going now, and the winds don't collapse them. But definitively, we got to find alternatives for creating our own breathable air. I mean, come on. Mass extinction of up to 90% of all marine species could happen by the end of the century. And then they say if greenhouse gases are not curbed, how come it's starting all in the Pacific? If this is greenhouse gases, it would be a uniform distribution of the horror. No, it's them and their radiation. So check this out. This is like a confession on their parts. They will be using an air filtration system that could protect against airborne contaminants, be it of radioactive, first and foremost. Okay? That lets you know the prominence in their considerations of that factor, that we all are not supporting me enough so that we could be a factor in our own protection. Radioactive, chemical, biological, or nuclear origin. They put the nuclear one at the end because this whole threat looming of them popping off nuclear bombs is full of crap. They know they don't need to drop any bombs anywhere. This is for Chernobyl, which is, they might have opened up the sarcophagus a bit to vent that radioactive contaminants, but also all the nuclear facilities that need to be massively maintained, they're not. This is a method of rescue. This is what people gathering together to fortify and protect their right to live seek. So this is a better shelter for us, and right now it's the only available one, than hoping that these rich people are going to fess up someday, or that you're just going to give up to the devil? Really? Right? I've written products, I've written books, and my soap is coming back, that's for sure, okay, in like a week. But you could go to Amazon and get my books, This Black and This Black Nation And this one you really need, Furnace of Affliction. This is the reason why I'm frustrated. I'm not frustrated because of some daggone jackals that run YouTube. I'm frustrated because I've put rescues out in front of our people. And whoa, I mean, the programming upon our minds is just, it's intense. You need these books. It's not like you don't. This should be easy for me to get the capital, because I ain't going to stop. Look at me. I ain't going to shut up. Hey? And so this is the way for me to build a global shelter for everybody. So we know what radiation is in our food. We know the methods to get it out, protect our children. And while we're doing it, we have a whole lot of fun too. I just finished the edits and my king uploaded it to Amazon so you could get the edited version. That's just, this story is astounding. And this black is astounding too. The beginning, this is the first book 1. And This Black Nation is book 2. The astounding stories. Okay? And it's readable. I know. I write beautifully. I do. Right? You're going to vastly enjoy this narrative. It's what we need. Right? And so salute to everybody who has purchased their copies. That makes absolutely no logical sense to have not purchased these books. This is it, okay? And we also have improving our black narrative, which we need in order to believe that a sister in New Jersey could break it down for you so you could understand what these devils have done. We have our brother Iyapo Yaba with his book, Melanin, 4 all 5-star rating reviews, right? So many of us are just done. And we're so done. We're getting to work. You just have to step on into our luxury protection, and you're going to be good too. Love you, family. And I prove it by working on the cures for all of us. Straight black family pride, and they are not going to be able to catch us. Peace and blessings.